Hello, 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 and welcome to Tools Thursday. Today, we're going to be talking about a tool, an AI tool, which sometimes I'm not super fond of, but this particular tool is pretty amazing, and I thought I would share it with you. An AI tool that helps you with your copy, essentially. Have you ever struggled with the right way to compose a sentence, or is there a better way of saying something that you're trying to put out into the world? This tool is pretty awesome. I wanted to give credit where credit is due, though. I saw my friend Molly Mahoney talking about this tool last week, I think it was, and so I'm like, "Ooh, let me go check this out," and hence here I am sharing it with you. So, like I say, I'm excited to be sharing this tool with you guys. As you're coming in, just give me a shout out. Where in the world are you? And as something kind of fun, like look to your right and tell me the first thing you see. Like I'm looking to the right, and the first thing I see is my router. Nothing fancy, but that's the first thing that I laid my eyes on. So, what is the first thing you see? Hey, Rebecca, glad to see you. And we've got, hey, Angela, girl, we need to catch up. We need to catch up soon. So I see somebody's, Elliot says he sees his first thing he sees is a bike. Yeah, so Angela says coffee cup, a wall, just something fun. I thought we'd have a little fun as we're getting started. And if you have never been on one of my shows before, have no clue who I am, my name is Kim Garst. I'm an online business strategist, which basically just means I love to help people grow their businesses, specifically their bottom lines, using digital and social media. So Angela says she sees a small stack of bills. At least it's a small stack. There you go, right? And if you are brand new and have never been on one of my shows before, just drop in a hashtag new. I'd love to say hey. And if you're watching on the replay, use the hashtag replay as well. And I have one more small thing, a favor, if you will, that I'd love to ask. If you guys get value from this, or if you think this would be something, I know I haven't told you what it is yet, but if you think this is going to be something that someone that you know would get value from, just sprinkle it out into the world. Again, that's a word that I grabbed from my friend Molly Mahoney. She used that word sprinkle all the time for a substitute for, hitting that S button. Okay. So pass it out around, sprinkle it, whatever word you want to use. And or tag someone that you feel like might get some value out of this. Okay. So yay. So Elliot's new, waving. Sarah is new, waving. Danielle, we got lots of new people. Excellent. Letitia, I'm waving, y'all. So nice to meet you. Holding out my hand there. Okay. So I'm going to pull up my screen and I'm going to share this tool. The tool is called, let me pull it up. It's called Wordtune. And if you go to wordtune.com, and I'll just pop that up on the screen again real quick, it's called Wordtune. I'm going to pull up my screen so you guys can see this. Basically, and I'm going to show you the tool, and then I'm going to show you some applications for it. Okay. So as you know, if you've ever been on one of my shows before, I'm really big on not just telling you about something, but why would this matter? So I'm going to show you the tool, and then I'm going to show it to you in action so that you can see some implications about, and maybe spark some creative ideas on how you could use this tool. Okay, so this tool is, again, it's an AI tool. AI stands for artificial intelligence. And it's basically a way to take a sentence or a paragraph and optimize it, optimize the way it's worded. Or if you say the same thing over and over again, or you want to say something similar over and over again, this is a way to say the same thing or craft the same type of message, but in different word structures or different sentence structures. So it's a Chrome extension, so you would add it to your Chrome what the word is eluding me. I hate when words elude me. Here I am talking about AI. Maybe I can get it to help me, but add it to your your Chrome. There you go. There, just click on the add to Chrome and it will add it, and you'll be able to leverage it in multiple places. So I'm going to share a couple of ways that it matters. So it'll allow you to rewrite a sentence and in a variety of different forms. So like casual form, or if you're wanting to be a little bit more formal, if you want to shorten it, or if you want to expand it. In other words, if you have a short sentence and you're like, man, that's a super short sentence. If I could say it and, make it larger, like, hey, can you imagine if we had this like back when we were having to write papers in school? Like this would have been like amazing. You might share it with your kids and you might not, but your college age kids or your high school age kids that are writing papers, this might be an amazing little tool for them. It allows you to smart paste things in. There's some word finder features, all kinds of really cool things. Again, I'm going to go into this in a little bit more detail in a moment. But basically, you can use this tool on inside of Gmail, which I'm going to show you in a moment, how I've been using it. You can use it in Google Docs, Slack, WhatsApp, Outlook, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Messenger, and more. So like I said, I'm going to share a couple of applications for it. Thank you. Google, their Chrome edition add-ons. Thank you, Elliot, for giving me that little boost I needed. I couldn't think of the word I wanted to use. So the tool again is wordtune.com. So if you go there, you can download the extension right from this website. Now it is free. It's free for a period of time. I think it's 14 days. You get it totally free. So you'd get the premium plan for 14 days to give it a go. Test it out. Run it around the block a little bit. See if you like it. And then if you want to, you could pay for it. It's $9.99 a month. I am at a place where I think I've got 7 or 8 days left on my trial. I find I am using it a lot, which is kind of interesting. I wasn't sure that I would, but I am using it quite a lot. So I may convert to the paid plan before my trial is over. But the free plan still allows you to do some stuff. It allows you to see some suggestions. In other words, find alternate words and phrases. And you can also rewrite with the free version. But my suggestion always is to give it a go. Use the trial, see if it's something you want to do. Don't pay for it out the gate. In fact, you can't pay for it. I think you have to run through the trial before you can actually pay for it. So let me show you a couple of applications for it. Gmail is one of the places I've been using it. So if I wanted to send an email to someone, like we do routinely every day, I send emails out or I respond to emails. And I'm just going to give you a quick testing this little Google Chrome app out. Okay. So as you can see, and let me make this a little bit bigger so you might be able to see it on the screen a little bit better. There you go. So hopefully you guys can see it on the screen a little bit better. I just typed in a sentence, and as you can see, there's a couple of, it underlines this. So it's given me a word for an alternative word if I wanted to use that word. But then in this case, this is just an example, but lots of times what I have found so far is the suggested word is actually better. And not in all connotations, but in some cases I've been like, wow, that's a better word than the word that I chose. So that's one application, but if you highlight it, just run your cursor over and highlight your sentence or your paragraph, it will give you a little pop-up will happen, and you can click on these as options. So this is the casual tone. This is a formal tone. This allows you to shorten the sentence if you want to, enlarge the sentence if you want to. So let's just go with the casual tone. And when I click on casual, it gives me all of these additional options. So it'll say testing out this Google Chrome app, trying out Google Chrome's little app, tested out this this Chrome extension. See, even though I'm saying app, it totally knows that I'm talking about an extension, a Google Chrome extension. So it's pretty smart. Gives me all these different alternative sentences that mean the same thing essentially as the sentence that I created. If you wanted a more formal tone, again, same thing. And in some cases, since this is such a short sentence and it's, maybe not as the structure of it wasn't awesome to begin with. But once you start using this yourself, you'll see the difference and you'll be like, wow, that sentence is so much better constructed than mine. Pretty sniffy. Sniffy? Nifty. There, that's the word I was looking for. Pretty nifty. Here's a formal tone, and I'm sorry, shortening it and expanding it. So if I wanted to expand it, this would be, again, going back to the example of this would have been so awesome in college when your papers had to be a certain word count. You could enlarge some of your sentence structures. This would have been cool. But here it is where I'm trying to enlarge my sentence to have more context or just more words. We've been playing around with this little Google Chrome app. I'm currently testing out a small Chrome extension called Google Newscast. I don't know where that came from, but sometimes they're not always perfect, but it gives you a really good way to enlarge your sentences, come up with a better way potentially of saying it. So so Jeffrey, it would depend on, so the short answer is yes. If you're using one of the tools that it integrates with. So if you're using a Google Doc, for example, absolutely. It does integrate with Google Docs. Let's see, I'll go back to this real quick to show you. Let me pull this back up real quick. So here's some of the integrations already. So Gmail, Google Docs, Slack, WhatsApp, Outlook, Facebook. So you just have to test it to make sure that it works with whatever it is that you're trying to compose your book on. I would, and I'm not sure, obviously it works with Outlook. That's an email application. But this could be really, really great for a lot of different things. So hello, Lakeisha, Lashki. I hope I'm saying that right. If I didn't say it right, my bad. But I love to say, hey, waving to you. Glad you're here. Okay, so that's for an email application where you're, again, crafting a response or, trying to either crafting a new email or responding to someone. It's a great way to check your sentence structure or to create a better sentence or a better response. All right. So let me show you how this would matter in the context of your social channels and or your I'm saying social, but it could be the best way to say it is copy for your social media posts. Okay. Now I'm inside of my the tool that I use to schedule all my content. So when you're looking at this, you're probably your mind's like, what sorcery is this? So I wanted to pull up one of my posts and show you the process that we go through essentially. So my team will schedule everything and then I have to come in behind and I have to make sure that the copy is something I would say, or if they, draw a blank and they have no idea what to put in as copy, then I come in and I just add whatever I want for the copy. So I always have oversight before something goes live. So today is the 10th. So I'm just going to pull up one of these posts. Now, as you guys you may be able to see this. I think you should be able to see it. Obviously, this is the entire month. It's already pre-scheduled. And this is specifically Twitter. I tweet a lot, so there's a lot of copy already. I mean, a lot of posts already scheduled in here. So here's, let me see. Let me pull up one. Let's just go to tomorrow. Okay. So I'm going to pull up this particular scheduled post, and let's say it's like, let go of the negative Nellies in your life and focus on the good. Life's too short for troubled waters. Now, obviously, this is a inspirational post. And if I wanted, I'm just going to, I highlight it with my, my mouse, and then I can choose if, do I want a casual tone? Do I want it to be more formal? I am so cash. So I almost never use the formal unless like I'm working with a big brand or something. I did respond to a big brand the other day, and I did use the formal button, but most of the time I'm just super cash. And you get what you get with me. So casual tone. And so I click that, and do I like any of these any better? Well, sure. I'm like, you don't have to worry about all the negative Nellies around you. Life's too short for troubled waters. So I might end up with something that's way better than what the initial copy was. So you could use this for copy for your socials. You could use it for so many things. So let me just share a couple of other ideas with you. That's, again, just for copy on your socials. You could do this directly on a social platform too. So I've got a post pulled up on Facebook. If I wanted to, do it directly on the social platform, I absolutely could. So I would highlight the sentence or the paragraph, and then I would just choose which one I wanted, whether it was casual, whether I wanted to, go lengthen this, make it more. Let's just say I wanted to go with that. I could, do all the normal stuff that you could do on a social channel as well. So, I could choose however I wanted it to look, essentially. But as long as I highlight it, I can play with the copy, choose a different sentence structure, whatever, however you want to do it. So that gives you, hopefully that gives you a couple of ideas on how you could leverage this little tool. Again, from a perspective of social media copy, email a copy, basically any written text, you could run through this little tool. And unfortunately, great question, Elliot. As far as I know, right now, there is not a Firefox add-on. Right now, this tool is fairly new from what I can gather. I just stumbled across it, literally just last week. I have reached out to the brand, but they haven't gotten back to me yet. So I'm just curious to see. Actually, I think they did get back to my team, but we haven't coordinated anything yet. I was hoping to be able to give away some free versions, but like I say, so far that hasn't happened. But hopefully we'll work out something and I can come back and be able to give away some of these as a resource for you guys. I always like to do giveaways. But like I say, this is a clever little resource. Use it in your email. It's good on Gmail. It's also good with Outlook. Going back to some of the places you can use it on all the social channels, WhatsApp. We're using it inside of Slack as well. That's another option. If you're familiar with Slack, we use Slack a lot. So Slack would be another place if you're communicating with your team or with others. That would be a great option as well. Google Docs, there were some questions about papers or, if you're writing a book or, things of that nature. This would be a super great little tool. Super great little tool. So what do y'all think? Are you like, or I'm always curious as to, is everybody as wild as I was? Like I say, I've been using it quite a lot. Initially, great question. Let me see if actually the and more, Jeffrey, doesn't click. Thanks for asking about that though. Yeah, it doesn't, it's not a clickable link. It just says and more. So for a quick example, I was sharing my scheduling tool, which is Agora Pulse, and it does work in Agora Pulse. So you're just going to have to test it and see what tools that you currently have that it does work within. And definitely check out check it out for free for, I think it's 7 days. Rhonda's, she keeps me on my toes around here. There's a 7-day free trial. I was thinking it was 14, but so I misspoke. So 7 days, give it a go, see if you use it. If you do and it's worth it, then, spend the money on it. If not, maybe you've had some fun with it anyway. All right. Well, that was my tool for Tools Thursday. So Jeffrey's asking, does it take more time when using this tool because of the options they give you? I haven't found that it does take more time. What I usually do is I will look at it very quickly, make a decision. Do I like any of the other options better than the one I have? And if I do, when you click on it, it automatically changes the original text. So it's not like you have to type it in yourself or anything. You just click on it, it changes your original text, and boom, there you go. So I guess in that context, it might take a couple of seconds, if you're just, looking at it and saying, oh, I like that sentence structure a little better, but I haven't noticed that it's like sucking down a bunch of my time. And it is only available on the desktop at this point in time. I was looking at their FAQs before we went live, and a couple of things that stood out to me is, again, right now it's only for Google Chrome. It does only work in English right now. But this is interesting because it says it's a great tool for non-native English speakers. So when I read that, I was like, so some of my team is in the Philippines, and while they speak great English, they're amazing. Sometimes the connotation of how we would say something would be slightly different than how they would say it. And so we're like, oh, this would be super great for the team, because then they would see options. They would have options for how, and maybe we wouldn't end up having to circle back so, frequently. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic. If you do have team members that are, in other countries, it might be super awesome for them to have access to this tool. Paul, it does work if you have Grammarly. So far, I've not noticed it interfering either with Grammarly. All right. Well, like I say, I just always like to bring a new cool tool to Tools Thursday and showcase the implications of it for how you can use it, give you some creative ideas. I would love it, Jeffrey, if you, I don't know what you're using for writing your book, but if you find that it works with, for authors, let me know. I think that would be a super, super cool resource to have in your back pocket. Same if you, like I say, if you've got kids that are in high school or college, they're writing papers. I don't know if they would need this, but it sure would be a little cheat tool in their back pocket for sure. I'm not sure if you should share it, because I guess they're there in school to learn how to create better sentences. But I'm just saying, I wish I'd have had it, is all I'm saying. All right, guys and gals. Well, thank you for joining me live. Super appreciate the time you spend with me. I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and take care of yourselves. Stay safe, and God bless.